What up though, YouTube? Welcome back to Lukegsfieldreview. Today we have another Detroit Lions 2019 draft prospect visit list. This time we have the running backs, and we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it. First up is Lexington Thomas from UNLV. 5'9", 170 pounds, 215 touches for 1,067 yards, 12 touchdowns. That's a 5-yard average. In 2017, he had 211 touches for 1,336 yards, a 6.3 average, 17 touchdowns. I gotta be honest. I think this is probably going to be a 3rd to 5th round pick. Could be later, but he reminds me so much of Kareem Hunt. Not so much per se size, but his running style. You know, when I watched the film on him, the first thing I noticed was, man, you know, when he cuts, he's and lowers that shoulder, or he's trying to avoid contact or take on contact, it doesn't seem to be an issue for him. But again, I am not the authority. Please go and watch film on all these prospects, and please be sure to make sure you go and you know, for those people who like the Olympics, go and check the NFL.com draft results to get the 40s and all the other things. But get this, people, he was one of the Detroit Lions' 30 visits. Shocking, isn't it? We got much more to come. Next up, we have L.J. Scott from Michigan State. 6'1", 225, 79 touches, 264 yards rushing. Again, the previous year, 201 yards, 201 attempts, 898 yards, 8 touchdowns. I mean, here's the thing. I'm noticing a serious trend with the players that they did visit with. And as always, you know, I'll give you my final thoughts at the end. But he was one of our local pro day visits. And, you know, I think it would be better served for you to really watch the film to figure out why would they look at a player with this type of production. But I can see it. And to me, I'm going to give him a 5th to 7th round grade. I would be shocked if he went before the 5th round. I really would. Next up, we have Darnell Holland from Kennesaw State. As you can see, he has a total of 80 carries, 949 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns. You see here, he's pretty much had a little bit of a role in the passing game. But if you look at the production, 2017, 80 carries, 727 yards, 8 touchdowns. There's a very interesting trend that you're going to see here, and I'm telling you, I'm getting on to these patterns. But you know, he was one of the guys who they went and visit at his pro day, and you know, I can see him being a 6th to 7th round pick. Next up, we have Karan Higdon from Michigan. 5'10", 202 pounds, 224 attempts, 1,178 yards, 10 touchdowns, 5.3 yard average. The year before that, he had 164 attempts, 994 yards, a 6.1 average, 11 touchdowns. He's not someone that I personally like as a running back, but when I look at the trends and the patterns, I understand why they would examine Mr. Hickman. I know he is high up on a few other DSA members' list, most notably Noble Sports Entertainment with TA. But for me, I saw some things that I just personally didn't like. And if they take him in the later rounds, I'm okay with it. But I think his hype is getting higher, so I'm going to give him between a 4th and 6th round draft grade. Next, we have Berkeley Edwards from the University of Michigan. He is a Michigan native from Chelsea, Michigan, 5'9", 200 pounds. He has played at Minnesota. He has played at Central Michigan, and now his last school is Michigan. This is not a misprint, people. You know, he's bounced around a few different places trying to establish himself, and I think that's why the numbers are not where they are supposed to be. But surprisingly enough, even though he's listed as a running back, the Detroit Lions brought him in as a receiver for a visit. So I thought that was very telling that they brought him in as a receiver for a visit. And in my opinion, he's probably going to be between a 6th to undrafted prospect. I just don't see where the production matchup will warrant a team to do it. Even when you look in the receiving game, there's nothing that you can see that will help his case. So, I mean, unless some people, you know, like what they saw in a little sample size, I don't see him going much higher than 6th to undrafted. Now, here's what I noticed in terms of the patterns as it pertains to this group of running backs. The Detroit Lions are actively targeting downhill runners. And not only are they targeting downhill runners, they're targeting downhill runners who has the ability to change directions, you know, without issue. And when I go through and I look at each one of these guys, the only one that doesn't really kind of fit that mold is Hickman. He does dance a little bit, but he will just go downhill and take what you give him. And I'm noticing that they are looking for these guys who happen to have high averages. The only exception to that rule is Berkeley Edwards, who is the little brother of Braylon Edwards. But even they brought him in for a receiver role, and it got me to thinking, like, don't that sound like some New England Patriots stuff? Like, you find a quarterback or a running back and you make him a receiver. So to me, what I'm starting to notice with this trend is that the Detroit Lions have a considerable approach to the run game, and it's going to be hit you in the mouth some more, and then when you think we've hit you in the mouth, we'll probably play action and kill you down the field. So that's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so that way you can be informed when new videos are coming out. And as always, I'll leave you with this bit of advice. Don't be no chump. Please do your research.